I want all this. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Ooh, wee. I feel good. I know I look good. I smell good. And this is about to be a good show up in here. It's your main man, the author, the host, the coach, and the certified pistol instructor with the NRA, Andy Brown, giving y'all some good game right here on the Online Happy Hour. Shout out to all my folks who are going trick-or-treating this weekend. If you are digging in your child's baskets or picnic basket, trick-or-treat bags, whatever it is, shame on you. You know that candy's for the kiddies. Wherever you may go, please be safe. It's going to be a different journey this weekend. And fellas, if you are a little bit too promiscuous and wearing these masks for the wrong reasons, you're doing it all wrong. Just this ain't for you. You know, don't be hiding up under sheets looking at women and doing all that crazy stuff. The wind is blowing something strong out here in the DF Dub. To all my ladies out there who got them super long lashes, please be still. We don't want you to fly away. I got folks who have just been texting me, calling me about this particular broadcast tonight. So I want to thank you all for listening. Subscribe to the page, the YouTube page that is. Follow this, share this on your social media platforms, because I know as well as you do that the heat is going to be on today. You ain't got to cut off your ACs in your house, man. You ain't got to do all that, but it's going to be a hot one. Hey, Miss JoJo, how you doing? What's up, Go Mob? How you doing? This is going to be a good one, man. If you are chiming in, please tell us what you do while you watch the show, man. I think this is pretty cool while we're relaxing and doing our own thing. The wind is blowing, man. My connection is a little bad. It's breezy out here. So if you see me get a little pixelated, it's because the wind is carrying. I got people who are chiming in today, man. They've been calling me. The fellas want to represent. I don't know if they will, but you know I'm going to hold it down. The ladies are going to be doing some things today, and it's going to be a good one. So as you all know, the show is brought to you by Feline Couture. That is what we do. That is what we stand for. That is what we live with. Feline Couture is a clothing boutique and cosmetic brand based out of Atlanta, Georgia. For all things luxury and the ultimate in fashion persona, hit feline-couture.com. Again, feline-couture.com. Wonderful stuff, man, even for the fellas. Y'all be sure to check it out, man. I'm going to be rocking some of this myself coming up in the next few episodes, so you can know what it looks like and what it is and what it do, what it does. Be clean. Yeah. Let's bring on the lady of the hour. She's been waiting. She's been ready for this one. You all have seen her many a time representing right here on the Online Happy Hour. She's making a wonderful name for herself. D Major, the co-owner of SugarBabyCo.com. Be sure to follow her on IG, and welcome the Sugar Mama herself. How you doing? Welcome back once more again.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm very good. I'm excited. I know some folks have had some issues logging in and chiming in. They're on the road. They're driving. They're with their children at practice. They're with their significant others. And they're making time for their side chicks tonight. So I totally get it. If you can't chime in, brother, it's totally fine. But I'm going to hold it down for the brothers tonight. So before we often get into this, D, I got to put the disclaimer out there. The thoughts and ideas displayed on the Online Happy Hour do not reflect those who have negative attitudes, piss poor judgment, or negative mindset of thinking. But what it does reflect are those who are in this light chiming in as it relates to the subject matter today. And today's topic is based on a meme that went out earlier this week that I put on social media. I'm going to dive off into that meme, un momento por favor. But the topic tonight is looking down on manning up. Why is it so difficult for us to receive men stepping up in the game? What's the accountability, fellas? Why do we struggle with that? The ladies are going to speak to this. I'm going to speak to this. And the comments are welcome in the group. So, D, shall we get off into it?
I'm ready.
Let's do this. So here's the thing. There was a comment, folks, and I'm going to go back to the online happy hour group. If you're not a part of that, man, on social media, on Facebook, please chime in. It is a public group. It is a public discussion. And we have different social topics about family, finances, relationships, you name it. We dive off into it and learn things about what we already know. We just elaborate on it. So there was a meme that was posted. I have no idea why I can't get back to it, but a meme was posted regarding the word, if I do, dare I say, child support. Why this touches so many nerves, I don't understand, but it seems to be a topic of discussion that burns the soul and pocketbook and bank account of quite a few people. So we're going to talk about this, and I want to find the meme because I don't want nobody coming in here trying to misquote my ass and saying, well, you said this and you meant that, and here we go. So here I found it. The meme says this, D, and I'm reading directly from the meme, so we want no misunderstandings whatsoever. And if we do have misunderstandings, here's a platform to clear that shit up. So let's do it. The meme said, if you need child support, why not give custody to the father since he doesn't need help because y'all ain't ready for this convo? That was the meme, right? And I think the heat began to come based on the comment that I made. And the comment that I made, and I want to thank my brother Bobby Hill for bringing this to my attention. I made the comment, and I'm standing by these words, because this has been on my mind. I said that it should not be that complicated. This has to stop. Let her go on and live her best life. It's perfectly fine. Don't complain to him about money anymore. Because if a father is considered the provider, and you want him to provide, and how a man needs to raise a man, it's an easy solution. Just let him be the father and work things out in his home. I can guarantee things will be different. And as soon as I posted that, shit hit the fan. Ooh, bring the heat. What happened? This is stupid. This is crazy. I can't believe that actually took place. Why would you say such a thing? The nerve of your... Let's dive off into that, D. Where did you receive what was stated while I sip?
Well, let me ask you actually a question.
Please.
What did you think the response was going to be? What did you think the response should have been?
There really wasn't need for a response. It just is what it is. Let the man step up and be a man, take care of his business. It's kind of like saying, hey, if I have 2 apples and I give you 2 apples, how many apples do I have? Well, who's eating your apples? Well, were you hungry at the time? Well, who are you giving these to? Well, the nerve of you to give away something that you feel the need to. No. I'm just asking this simple question and making this simple point.
So let me seek clarity then. Are you saying, at least, what I deduced from what you said in your post?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that if a woman needs child support from the father of her child,
right,
to raise the child, then remove her need of child support by giving the father primary care of the child and let him take on the day-to-day and primary responsibilities of raising that child, and she just essentially take a step back to the father.
What's wrong with that?
Essentially what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Okay. That's that's it's laughable. It's so insane to me.
Why is that?
Because I feel
we're addressing homes that there are not two-parent involvements, okay?
right.
We're not saying that these parents live together, she gets this money, he gets that money, they're in the same household, they're in each other's lives. We're talking about separate households. Let's get some clarity.
I understand that. Okay. But how do you think, what's your understanding of child support and how a father's financial contribution is discerned? What is your idea of that?
The financial contribution is not about a dollar amount, Wade, because if you need child support, clearly that they're stating that what I have right here isn't sufficient enough to take care of what I need to take care of this child.
Well, let me put it like this. I think the word need, I challenge whether or not you're intentionally misappropriating that word need, because
I'm going directly by what the
word, but the word need is improper in most situations. The proper word is we are owed child support. And when the monetary amount of child support is calculated, it's not calculated in the mindset of a father is, or whichever non-custodial parent is paying for the entirety of the child's lifestyle. What it is a percentage. In the state of Texas, I think it starts with 20% of your net monthly income for one child, and it goes up incrementally based on the number of children that you have. So the amount is a calculation of what the father's financial contribution rightfully should be to raise the child. And the mother, it's not negating the fact that the mother, as the primary custodian, is automatically putting forth a financial contribution to the well-being of that child. So to use the word need is a gross bastardization and misappropriation of what actually occurs in situations where there are single moms. But my problem with the statement in totality is that this is not the conversation that even really needs to be had. Right now, the US population, according to the census, 30% of children in the United States today are being raised by either a single mom, primarily a single mom, a single father, or no parent, meaning a grandparent or the foster care system or something like that. 30% of the US population. And of that 30% of the US population, the majority are African American children who are being raised by single mothers. There are a lot of social, psychological, long-term negative effects that come from that. And the bigger issue at hand is why is such a large percentage of our population, our children, being raised in single parent homes. We shouldn't be having an argument over who the custodial parent is or who should pay more money. What we should be arguing about is what is systemically wrong with the Black community that we are not getting married, having children, and raising them in nuclear family environments, which is statistically been proven to be far healthier for children than the opposing situation. And it's insulting when we have this larger issue where we have so many children being raised by single moms, when a man comes in and tries to oversimplify, which is what you've done, try to oversimplify a situation by trying to make it some sweeping, generalized thing that the father should just take over custody of the kid, when in all actuality and by divine intention, it was intended for both parents to be active, responsible parties for the kids. And so what any half-witted man should be doing is not arguing with the mother who says she needs his ass to support his kids. She shouldn't have to say that ever to any man under any circumstance. If he has two gonads and a schlong sticking out, he should be man enough to know what his role is in his child's life. He should be willing to step up and do that job 50-50 with the mother. Not you take custody and remove the mother's presence, because just like your lack of presence in the child's life, removing the mother from the child's life is equally, if not more so, detrimental to the well-being of the child. So when you made that comment and you refused to take the edge off, you refused to function in the gray area, which it really is, when you try to be as egregious as to say that it's that simple to just remove the mom, replace with the dad, that's highly offensive to all the women out there who are holding it down for their kids and are rightfully owed child support, not need. We are rightfully owed, and you men should be obligated to do it, and you should be happy to do it. And if you're not happy to do it, keep your dicks in your pants.
I'm still listening because I don't want to interrupt.
Have the floor.
Okay. So, I appreciate that. And again, this takes nothing away from women. I have taken nothing away from women at all. If you feel that, no, I sure haven't. Nobody's talking about how you raise or what you've done. We're not addressing that. The meme has stated straight up, if you need child support, why not give custody to the father? Because if the balance is not there, right? And hey, I need a little bit more from you. Things are a little bit tough over here, and it's not all peaches and cream. I get that. Totally get it. Not complaining about what you do, because you all do excellent jobs as mothers. We don't take that away from you. You do a fine job taking care of children because they are in your home and not a man's home. Agree or disagree? Let's open up that.
I can't get past you.
You don't want to
insisting on using the word need. It's
that's what it's. That's I'm not putting other words into my mouth. I'm not going around or saying what it should have said. I'm reading directly from what the meme said.
but the meme in and of itself, the meme in and of itself, and I doubt any woman actually said that whole meme is bullshit. The word need negated the entire concept of whatever you're trying to make this meme mean. There's no such thing. We don't need you. Women have proven time and time again that we don't need you. But there are many of us who hold you men accountable by making your asses pay up. If I'm going to have to contribute my financial contribution to the well-being of the child as a primary custodian, I think it's only fair that you have to put forth your financial contribution. And that to me is not a need. That is that is a debt that you men owe us.
You or owe the child?
Debt. We're debt collectors is what we are.
So we owe the money to the mother, or we owe the money to the child?
You owe the money for the caregiving of the child. Now, obviously, if it's a minor child, you can't give a damn check to a kid. You have to give it to the parent who's executing whatever activity that needs to be done to take care of the child. But even on the adverse, if a father is the primary custodian, the mother should be giving a financial contribution to the care of the child, even if they're not the breadwinner. At the end of the day, you should be required, expected. You are indebted to whichever custodial parent has the child and is taking care of the day-to-day needs of the child. And I promise you, whichever parent is responsible for the physical day-to-day care of that child is paying more than the little Weasley 20% that some court is stacking on to the non-custodial parent.
Don't doubt that one bit. Not arguing that point.
I just vehemently oppose the assertion of this kind of like it's just that easy. Just give the kid to the dad and let him do it. That's you're basically trying to say that the mother's role can just be reduced like that. Like just And no mom in her right mind that loves her child, regardless of if she is in financial need or not, no mother that loves her child and understands the responsibility of being a mom and understands that there are a lot of psychological aspects to raising a child. There's more than just the financial aspect, there's a psychological aspect to it, would walk away from her child because of some type of financial. Just no woman worth her vagina would do that. Now, are there pieces of crap hoes as moms out there? Of course, but that's not the norm. The average mom would never just abscond her responsibility to her child and relinquish it all to the father over a financial dispute about child support. What we're going to do is we're going to fight you in a death match for our kid. And
Whoa.
I just think it's asinine. I think it's asinine the way you're trying to apply this sweeping. And that's why I asked for clarity, because I thought that you were going to say in situations where, I know a lady who had a stroke and she had 4 kids. Her and her husband divorced. They had 4 kids. She had a stroke. She had to learn how to walk again. She had to learn how to talk again. Their youngest child was very young, not even in kindergarten yet. And so she relinquished custody of her children to the father, not because he was always the breadwinner. She relinquished custody because she physically and even cognitively, because of the effects of the stroke, was not able to sustain the day-to-day care of her child. So she and he had to make a co-parenting agreement where he became the primary custodian. Now, if you to come out with situations like that, I can't think of any female in the viewership that would have found that to be unreasonable. But that means oversimplifies and reduces and flat out disrespects the role and the hardship of a mother.
It takes nothing away from your hardship. It takes nothing away from your hardship.
Your comments adding to it make it worse.
No,
because
not at all.
You try to stand on it as if it's a black or white issue.
And that's it. Let's go back to that situation where she had the stroke, right? There's a condition right here where you're having a little bit of difficulty. It's not taken away from the fact that you love the child, right? Takes nothing away from that. You have a situation where right now you're not in the best position to do that. Not taken away from that at all. Why would I? There are 2 parents involved here. So from that perspective, yes, no problem, no doubt. In any other situation, this young lady who's having financial difficulty, or she's just not where she wants to be with her personal goals, or she has a career that she would like to chase, perfectly fine. You have a situation where right now is not the best time for you and this person is making more money, or he's in a different situation. Let that man up and be a father. It's not just her child. If the 2 made the child together, do what's best for the child. If you need to go and pursue your career and do what you got to do, by all means, go right ahead and do it. If dad needs to step in and take care of business, let dad go ahead and take care of business. Franchette made this comment, she made the comment, how many men do you know, black men, hold down a steady job or make more money than black women? Well, if money is the issue here, and we're discussing the money, and she needs more child support from a man who may not have more financially, then is the issue really about the child or really more about the money? And I'll bring that back up, because if he's there and he's physically and he's not really giving as much more money, and that does happen in some homes, not all, then he's looked at as what's the word that we use, the deadbeat. Not enough. It's not about his efforts or wherever the case may be, but if you have somebody who's financially struggling, as you can see, it could be, hey, look, that's a problem right here, and I can't handle this in this situation. What can we do to resolve this? The court doesn't have to get involved. If you need the court to get involved, so be it. But if you just need to just man up and be a man about it and say, look, I'm going to take on the responsibility, then you do that. And you do that and say, look, man, listen, I'm having a difficult time over here. I need some more money. If you got your money, you handle your business over there, you do what you do, and you also let this child come and stay with you until I get where I need to be financially and handle my business and either meet you financially or supersede you or in a better situation where I am comfortably. And let that man do what he has to do and man up and be the provider and be the father and stand out and do what he has to do. Why take that responsibility and that opportunity away from him because he's doing what he should do for the child that they both had? Because if it's about the child, put the child in the best position for the child to have better situation, not just always drift to mom unless she can't move or she's handicapped in some kind of way. That's not fair to the child. We have to be looking at what's best for the child in that situation. So I'm saying to that meme, if you need child support, give custody to the father and let dad do what he has to do and man up. Don't control what goes on in his house. Well, he's living over here and he's doing that. And if he's a father and he has to man up and do what he has to do, it doesn't matter if he doesn't have what you have in your home. That's your home. That's his home. But it's still what's best for that child. If we're comparing substance, are we comparing persona and growing? Get to know who your mother is. Get to know who your father is. Get to know who you are. And man up and handle your own responsibility. No better way than to put a man in a situation and say, here, take care of what's yours and it's your responsibility. And I shouldn't have to step in and take that from anybody, myself included. So as a man to step up and say, you know what, if my child at whatever age they may be, whether they're 2, 12 or 22, and you need to be raised up and be in front of your father, but goddamn it, I'm going to do it. Would I default to his mother all the time? Hell no. Because as a man, I'm going to step up and handle my business. Is that stupid, as some may have said? Hell fucking no. Let a man be a damn man, grow the fuck up, like you said, get some balls, and handle his business and do what he has to do. Anybody want to?
But a man being a man, but see, you're jumping in halfway through the story. The man being the man should have been all the way back to the point that the child was actually.
He wasn't. He wasn't.
So then let's talk about child support, right? Because child support is more than financial. Child support is spiritual, it's psychological, it's social, it's they always say it takes a village to raise a child. Every parent, be they male parent, female parent, needs child support because a child was never intended to be raised in a single parent situation. It was always meant to be a collaborative effort. The reason why that meme and your rhetoric continues to piss women particularly off and aggravate them is because you are just completely omitting the foundation of raising a child, which should be collaborative partnership. It's not mom fully responsible for kid or kid moves in with the dad and dad fully responsible. It should be mom and dad co-parenting in situations where they unfortunately are not a couple that's married, that's living under the same roof. It should be a conversation about co-parenting partnership where both parents are actively involved with the child on a daily basis, because that is what is needed when it comes to child support in the all-encompassing aspect of raising a child. And that is what should be expected. The reason why you see situations where mothers are financially destitute is probably because they were left hanging out on the limb by a derelict father who was a selfish piece of crap and decided to go off and do him, chase other bitches, impregnate other women, pursue his financial goals and career goals and all of that stuff, and did not adhere to what his obligation was to that child from day one. And so now fast forward, the mother has now undergone all of these trials and hardships of especially financial. She can't pursue her career. She can't do all these things. She gets in the hole. She's financially destitute. And now she's in a situation of a higher financial need. But the root of that problem was the father to begin with. So when the father is absentee, no half-witted mother is going to be the primary custodian parent of a child for a set period of time and then just relinquish her kid off to the motherfucker who already proved to be unreliable to begin with, to take a gamble with her child's well-being, that this motherfucker can handle it now because he was able to go get himself together. It just, the way that you put it makes no sense, because you're standing on the insanity of what you're trying to say, instead of speaking in a way that is respectful and that is acknowledging of the fact that too many fathers are not stepping up to the plate and doing their damn job. Now, if you're talking about a dad that was there from day one, was responsible for his child from day one, and there's some type of tit for tat that's going on, and dad steps up and says, hey, let me take Junior because I see that you got a lot going on. Or you hear situations where, especially with male children, right, where Junior starts to get he starts feeling himself. He starts getting too big for mom. He starts talking back. Maybe dad has to step in because maybe he needs his father's presence heavier in that moment than what his mother can do in those challenging times. So if a father had been there from day one as that centerpiece in his child's life, and he says in the co-parenting situation with the mom, I think Junior should come stay with me because his grades are slipping, he's on some bullshit, he's sneaking out, he running around with that little twit, I'm gonna bring him over here because I'm gonna get his ass straight. Okay, that makes sense, because that is the co-parenting partnership, the collaborative effort. But under no circumstance is any right-minded mom, right? And I promise you, in 99% of those situations where a mother is at the point of need, financially where she's financially destitute, it is a situation where the dad was a motherfucking deadbeat from the onslaught. And okay. so now, no, you cannot come in and take custody of the damn kid and just, you got it now. That's insanity. And I promise you that is the trigger that you're popping off. And a lot of women in the comments who have been reading you for filth about the black and white way that you tried to present this idea. You did not present that in a reasonable, rational way that sounds consistent to the normal situations, that the average situation that we go through in these single mom homes.
Let's go back to the meme, shall we? No problem. Let's go back to the meme, shall we? Because we're touching on some points, and something's gonna stick in just a second. The title of this show, folks, is called "Looking Down on Manning Up." And D is she's swinging some hammers. She's throwing something at me, and I'm gonna catch all that shit right here. Let's go back to the meme, shall we? The meme says, for those who are just now tuning in, there was a meme that was posted in social media, and I'm sure that you all have seen it if you're active often. In the online happy hour group, there was a post that says, if you need child support, why not give custody to the father since he doesn't need help? Y'all ain't ready for this convo, though. So if he doesn't need help, right? And I want to know where I have talked about any woman in any negative way and said she couldn't, what she's not doing, and called her out of her name. Because it can happen.
I didn't say you called anybody out of their name.
Nope. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. Somebody heard it. I don't know who the fuck you are. Somebody heard it. Somebody heard me say something negative. If she's in a situation where she can't, because you gave me where he can't handle it, and I get that, because that's what a lot of people see, and that's their norm. And
I also gave you where he can handle it.
Sure, absolutely.
I gave both sides.
And at the same point, the meme reflects back to where she needs help with child support. So if you are in need financially, there is somewhere along the line that you can't hold it down where you need to be. And this goes back to the households where there are parents who are not operating the same way. They're not in the same household. You got to clear that up, because somebody's going to say, well, what about the mom? Well, what about the dad? Well, how come they're not doing it together? Well, how come they just, no. We're going back to this situation, because there are households and there are situations out there who operate in this manner. So you have to have, because we both have to have and give clarity. I totally get it. Fathers need to help, mothers need to help, but the statement has also been said, but pride gets in the way, and it does. I believe, and I've heard men say this, and they're not going to come on because some of them may not just want to pull the backbone. They may chime in and say, "Oh, dude, I was busy, but I was watching that motherfucker, and I really didn't want to say anything because, you know, my balls was tucked in, bro. I didn't really want to say anything because I'm going through it." I'm your voice, my dude. I got you. I'm going to speak for you. A lot of men feel as if it's really just about the check. And I'll be honest with you, they feel it's about the check. They feel that, well, if you remove the child from the household, even if she's not doing financially better, look, she has to get herself together. She's chasing her career. She had a dream of living a certain type of lifestyle, and she wants to pursue her career. Wherever she's at, whether she's working her corporate America job, or she's working her fast food job, or she's hitting the polls every other night, every other weekend, whatever she may do. If she's an Instagram model and the shit just ain't working out, whatever it is she's doing, she's taking pictures and she wants to live her best life. And whatever life she's living, there's a financial struggle or something holding her back. And dad got the bread to do it. Let dad go ahead and do it. Live your best life. I'm not saying you're not involved with your child's activities. Nobody's taking away from that because it does take two parents. But what I am saying is, if you are in a situation where you need to get on your feet and get yourself together because your money ain't right or your situation ain't right, you're tired of driving that Honda Civic and you want to get you a Mercedes-Benz, whatever situation you may be in, it's just not working out for you the way you had anticipated. And you know that there's some ladies out there who feel that way, that if they could do a little bit better and come up a little bit better, they would do that. They've been sick of paying rent and they want to get a house. Or they've been living in the country and they want to go to the city, or vice versa. However they've been living, it just didn't working out for them. I encourage you to live your best life. Do what you have to do. Let that child be in a situation that they can be best taken care of. And if you got to go live your best life and come over here and help dad and help the kids, wherever you got to do, let him man up and take responsibility to do what's best for that child so you can live your life. Am I saying get away from your child? Absolutely not. Am I saying that you want to live your best life and live the life so you can be happy? Absolutely. Is that taking away from the child? No.
Yes.
Not at all. It doesn't.
It is. Kids are not toys that you like, they're not baseball cards that you swap at a damn swap meet. Okay. And the thing that you fundamentally don't seem to be getting from the male perspective is that the minute you decided to give birth to a child, it's no longer about you. It's no longer about you. That's why you're supposed to get your shit together before you have kids. Because
but then not everybody's in that situation.
You have kids, your primary responsibility is to your child. It's no longer about you pursuing your dreams. If you can fit your goals into the dynamics of your responsibility as a parent, a mom is always going to make that sacrifice for her kid. It's usually the man that does not make that sacrifice that will leave the kid with the mom to go do his thing. And it's offensive when a man says that it's about the money to a woman. No, it's about justice to us. It's about justice to us and the fact that it ain't right and it ain't fair that we step up to the plate and men often do not.
Okay, so that's not what I'm talking about. I'm telling the man to step up.
Hold you guys accountable.
I'm telling the man to step up and own his accountability. Why would you not step up?
The accountability is not taking the kid away from the mom and taking over the primary day-to-day care. That's not stepping up to the plate.
It's not about taking him away from the mother. It's about putting the child in the best situation. And if that means
the child in the best situation is with both his parents. If you want to put the kid in the best situation, then be responsible and build good collaborative partnerships with the mothers of your children, fellas, and put your kid in the best situation. If you have a partnership with the mom, that is always going to be the best situation versus one parent being custodian and the other parent. It's called get married, have kids, stay together, stop having loose, unintentional relationships, having babies with motherfuckers you don't even like, and being in baby daddy, baby mama situations. If you really give a shit about what's best for your kids, then step up to the plate the minute she gets that little double line sign on that pregnancy test, that's when you step up. You go to every doctor's appointment, you start putting money away from college, preferably put a ring on the motherfucker's hand. That's when you step up. You step up from day one. You don't get to go off and make more money than the woman, go off and sow your wild oats, and then come back after she is now been drugged through the goddamn ringer because she never absconded her responsibility, and come in and say, well, if you can't handle it, let me take them on. That is the most stupid, because it's abundantly clear that because the woman did not run off and do what the man did, she took her responsibility to that child to heart far greater than the man did. We are always going to step up for our kids. Women are not like men where we can just detach and give up our damn babies to go off and do whatever the fuck it is we want to do. We are the nurturers. We don't function the way that you men do.
All women.
And most of us, and we actually think it's immoral as hell, the fact that men can do that. And it's in the whole rhetoric that we're having right now.
Well, you tell the man to step up.
There's such an immoral, asinine undertone, because it's belittling the experience of that single mom, and it's implying that being with the father is the best situation. And in some situations, far less often situations, yes, being with the father is the best situation. But that's a conversation that's had in a partnership, and that's usually some type of dynamic event that occurred, like my friend with the stroke. It's not a situation where a mom's been holding it down all along while dad's off fucking around, and now she's destitute, and dad thinks because he wants to get out of giving a monthly check that he can just take the kid. That's stupid. It's never going to fly, and it's going to be a war. The first man tries to do that, because not only is that mother going to fight him to the death, but other moms are going to back her up, because it's just so offensive. The way that you're wording it is offensive. The undertone that you're giving is so belittling to the position of the mom and the work and the effort that the mom puts in to raising these kids. And I totally say I read most of the step up. And I read most of the comments. I read a lot of your comments that were very kind of like petty little shots, trying to be very broad. You never wanted to narrow down or give better quality context, so that the people who had so much vitriol towards you in those comments in that thread, I totally understood where those women were coming from. Like, I was because I could see that you were intentionally not giving context that made sense, because there are circumstances, you and I have talked about circumstances where it makes sense for the dad to be the custodian parent, but it's not a situation that negates from the mom. And it's a situation where the parents are working as a team, and they're parents who have always been committed to the well-being of that child. But the way that you're wording that and presenting this concept it's extremely belittling to the mother. And I just really want to push you to say it in a better way. Stop trying to use that word need.
That's what's in the meme. I'm not misquoting anything. I'm not misquoting anything.
But the need is, it's stupid. The word, I don't care who put it in the meme.
Because if that's the situation, then you address the situation.
It's a debt that is owed. We're debt collecting. Okay. That's what we're doing.
Okay. So are we not about needing to make sure that the child's in the best proper care for the child, even if it's with the father? Can we agree with that?
We always want to do what's best for the kid, but what's best for the kid is mom and dad, both parents. You're never going to get me to agree unless the mom is, like I said, like the friend with the stroke, in the most extreme circumstances. You're never going to get me to agree that what's in the best interest of the child is to be raised by a single parent on any end of the spectrum, unless the other parent is dead or severely, disabled in some way.
Okay. Check this out, folks. I appreciate y'all chiming in. This is great. I'm digging this. It's been stated that not always. There are some women that purposely use kids to get money from men. That is a known fact. I didn't actually take this meme post as if it was intended to offend those of us who are good mothers and good parents. This is for those mothers who don't give a damn about kids and don't want to lose them because then she can't live her lavish life while the kids still suffer.
Are you Shaq? Who? Facebook
That's
user?
real. I'm letting you know that is
Are you Bill Gates? You got Bill Gates money or something? Because I promise you, you regular schmegulas. Okay, let me look. Newsflash. Okay, I speak on behalf of women. Okay, you regular schmegula dudes. I promise you, we don't get pregnant on purpose to get your check. You don't make enough money for that shit. Now, if your ass is Drake or somebody, okay, maybe there are women who are very predatory and go after high value men, but most of you motherfuckers are not that. I know you've deluded yourself into believing that you're high value men. You're not. Your little six figures. Give us our 20% or whatever your state mandates and shut up. Okay. At the end of the day, we are not out here having our body, okay, go through the torture of pregnancy to have something the size of a goddamn watermelon come out of something the size of a fucking lemon just to get your check. We're not doing that. You're not high value enough for us to do that, okay? Yeah. That is not what women, we don't sit there and say, oh girl, when we see you in the club and we're out having girls night, we don't say, hey bitch, I'm gonna go get pregnant by him so I could get a check.
But that came from a woman.
Well, she's dumb too, because that does not happen. Okay.
Yes, unless it does.
High value man, it only happens in a situation where you're talking about a high value man. Most of y'all are not high value men enough for a woman to be that salacious and predatory to intentionally get pregnant to get a check from your broke asses. And that's so goddamn offensive. And any woman who's prescribing to that, shame on you, boo.
It's not even a prescription. It's the way of the world.
Oh my God.
Listen to this.
It's
you all know, and think about this. If we look at statistically speaking, right, for every one, even me in college, and I went to an HBCU, so the ratio of women to men was roughly 7-1. Right, on a small college campus. I come out here to the real world and I run into a ratio of 9-1, 10-1. Even as you get older, that age gap starts to stretch. So now you're looking at maybe 10, 11-1. There's going to be a few like that. Yeah, there's going to be a few women like that. Women to men in the dating aspect.
So you're saying because we have a lower.
You said there's no women. Yeah, there's women. There's women.
You're trying to say because there are fewer men available to women that our best bet is to get pregnant to secure a bag?
Who said that? I said,
well, that's what you're implying. I mean, then what was the point of these statistics that you just?
Because you said there's no woman out there that would do that. Yes, there is.
No. What I said was, unless you're a high valued man, no woman gives that much of a fuck about you to intentionally get pregnant for a bag when it's actually cheaper for us to just not have a damn kid. Your little 20% that the court will make you give, unless you're a high value man, ain't shit compared to what we financially, physically, and psychologically will contribute to the rearing of that child. So it's actually a lose-lose situation for us. If no woman is that, let me tell you something. Women are a lot more clever than you guys, okay? We ain't that damn stupid. We're not going to go and get knocked up on purpose for some low-value, six-figure nigga to get his damn check every month.
Because she wants to be married.
Unless you're a high-value man and only a high value man can make that argument, and not a man who's deluded himself into thinking he's a high value man. I'm talking about a real high value man. Only a high value man can make that kind of argument.
Women are doing it. 6.5 figures.
Not doing that.
Yeah. Ooh, I love this. Low down on manning up. And this is what we're discussing tonight. So some of the comments, this is real talk now. I'm glad y'all are doing it. Share the link. Tell a friend. Tell a family member. Somebody who's going through this shit right now. I know you do. My man Tim wants to chime in. We'll have to get you, bro. But listen, women do that. It is just the truth. There are women out there because, listen, the meme wouldn't have drawn so much attention.
Let me tell you something. If a woman does that, she's a crack hoe. So shame on you for getting a crack hoe pregnant, because
you don't always know.
Regular educated women do not do that. They don't. No, they don't. They don't. And I say that confidently. So unless you shacked up with a crack hoe, shame on you for doing that. Because regular, hardworking, intelligent women, which most of us are, okay, we don't do that. And again, if you're not a high valued man, we already know that it actually is more of an expense to us in every sense of the word to have a child with a man than it is to just not have a kid at all. So
we had a discussion, and I challenge my Facebook viewers and my YouTube viewers to go back and listen. We had a discussion not long ago about what women pursue more, their career or their relationship. Do you want more? Are you pursuing your marriage?
Oh yeah, and what did we say?
Is it the career?
We said, I know I said that I would choose career over love.
Right. So those who want to pursue their best life and go get that career, and sometimes that child, their day-to-day activities of what you're doing pulls you away from having that relationship and having that bond with that job or that career that you want. Let that responsibility now fall on dad.
That's a reach.
It's not a reach. That is
no. Equating choosing career over romantic love and choosing career over the love that a mother has for their child and a sense of commitment and responsibility that a mom has for their child is dramatically different. You know, we go through a lot at the hands of relationships. We kiss a whole lot of frogs, and there does come a point for a lot of women where we just realize I'm doing just fine by myself and I can do bad all by myself and I don't need no fucking dude. So you know what I'm going to do? Because I can't count on the instability of a relationship, but what I can always count on and always trust is myself. So I'm going to do me. I'm going to pursue my own goals, my own career. And if love souls happen to happen and it fits, it's compatible to the path that I'm on, then yeah, I'm going to latch on to love, but I'm not going to choose love over career. But it's different when you have a child because see, we already chose the child over career and every goddamn thing else. You know, when we made that choice, when we passed 12 weeks and chose not to get an abortion. When we chose to give birth to that child, we already made our choice abundantly clear that we choose our damn kid. Now, if we can fit career and all those things into that, but without walking away from that responsibility, then perhaps, and kudos. And sometimes it takes a village to help us do that. And it should take the father to be a part of that process. But we made our choice when we had the child. See, we don't make our choice until we say, I do to you. And a lot of women choose to be single because we're sick of the bullshit with you dudes. But we choose our children. And we will choose our children over anything. Most women are willing to drop dead for their child. They don't give a shit about anything else. They see red. If there's any type of threat or conversation that they feel detracts from the spirit of their child. So we already made that choice. So you can't compare choice of career to choice of raising child and saying that we as a norm, not speaking to very rare individual circumstances or crack-hole, loose, silly-minded women, talking about the average situation, we're not going to choose all that other materialistic shit over our kid. We're not. Men will. We won't. We won't do that.
You don't think so? That don't happen?
I've been a woman for a long time. I'm not going to say my age, but I've been a woman for a very long time. I got gray hair and everything to prove it. Okay. I have fellowshipped with countless women. When I was in college, I lived in family housing, and the majority of us were single moms raising our kids. In that fellowship with countless women in multiple states and even other countries that I've lived in, the common thing is we women are ride or die, sun up, sun down about our kids. And we are non-compromising when it comes to our babies. We always choose the well-being. We always choose to love and support our kids over everything. We will sacrifice our happiness. We will sacrifice relationships. We will sacrifice job opportunities. We will always choose to sacrifice for our child because we understood that the day that that kid arrived through our vaginal canal, we made the choice to make that sacrifice. What we always are baffled with is why men don't equally make the same sacrifice when they impregnate us. That is the problem. We would never be in a situation where we needed stuff like that, where we needed money, we needed help, unless it's some type of very unique circumstance. We wouldn't be where we need it if you had done your job from the onslaught. We wouldn't need it.
Yeah. So that being the case, I go back to my original point. Man up. Do what you got to do. Take care of your responsibility. Be a man. Take care of your child so that there is harmony. And if you come from a situation to where you are in a two-parent household, that's perfectly fine. That's beautiful. That's bliss. And chances are you're not going to be involved in a conversation like this very long. However, for
I appreciate the simpleton who said, sounds like you haven't found the type of high value man that you're looking for. I'm not sure what the simpleton is trying to say, but that's a very simpleton type comment to make.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, listen, I get it. We're gonna get lashed. I know I've been getting lots and lots and lots of heat on this, and I totally get it because many will not agree with what we have to say. We're coming from two different sides of the coin. We got the yin and the yang, and we're saying to you folks, yes, it would be better for us to agree, right? Yes, it would be better for us to come in two-parent households. Yes, it would be better if we were married, we had children, you had love, then you had marriage, and then the baby carriage. Most of us. But it doesn't always work out that way. So what we need to do is look out for the next generation. Men, stand up, man up to your responsibility. I see absolutely nothing wrong with that. Now, I've been getting a little flack about that because of the way a man should step up.
The way you're stating it. That's why you're getting flack.
No, I'm very serious about this. You need to step up as a man to own your responsibility, regardless of what it is. Whether it's paying your light bill or paying for your child to go to that camp that they want to go to, or getting them involved in activities and putting them in better situations where they can be the best person that they need to be, regardless of who they're living with. If the mom, I'll stand on this very firm because I am all about the well-being for the child. I myself went through a similar situation. My son's mother said, I'm going to take him and not even put you in a situation where you're going to be able to see him every day. So some may call me a deadbeat dad for letting that go. Others may say, well, I had to do the right thing to make sure he was in the best position for his life. I see absolutely nothing wrong with that. Many others will call me a deadbeat and you let your child go away because you're just like the status quo. To each his own. But I had to do what was best for my child in that situation. Again,
I do appreciate
it's just what the fuck it is. I had to do what
the viewer said. I appreciate what they said. It says no hashtag hurt people do that shit.
Hurt people do that shit. Has nothing to do with the education or nothing else. This is a mental or emotional issue. People are hurting and they make bad choices, and that's the deeper issue is healing and growing before actually producing children and do this shit the right way. Absolutely.
I can totally, look, that is the most healing comment of the night. I can agree with that. And like I said at the beginning of this show, that really should be the conversation. Doing what's best for the child.
What's best for the child
is not to live with dad or mom. It's to live with dad and mom. And what we've really got to do is we've got to stop putting band-aids on the condition that is the fact that we are not having children in the right way. And really, this conversation, we're talking about the byproduct of
you're not always going to have
a broken community. We're talking about the byproduct of broken relationships between in our immediate community, Black men and Black women. Our population is the fastest declining in the US, but we have the highest incarceration rates, we have the highest poverty rates, we have the highest divorce rates, we have the highest single parent, household rates. So there is something that is just foundationally wrong in our community. And that healing comment is very that's very, very on point, whomever made that comment, because I can't see their name, but that is a very, very on point comment, because that is really this argument that we're having is very superficial, because we're talking about the after effects, the symptoms, the Band-Aid. We need to fix the root illness in our community. Is what is going on in the dynamic and the relationships between Black men and Black women. And the one thing that I noticed, and even I am guilty of this, is that when I was reading the thread from the meme when you posted it, and I was reading the male comments that I found to be profoundly misogynistic and chauvinistic. But then I also saw from the female comments a lot of anger and a lot of vitriol towards men. And so it's kind of like we just inherently, Black men and Black women, we're struggling in our partnership in general. And that's where we really need healing. I mean, even, like the comment that whom I'm assuming was a guy said, oh, it sounds like you haven't found a high value man. It's always an attack. It's always a belittling of one another. And what we've got to do is, men have got to come to an acceptance that we are no longer in the days of women being subservient and taking the back seat to men. It often seems that that's what Black men want in order to have those partnerships in that respect of Black women. And Black women are very, very resistant of that. And then what happens is you have people that come together for sexual purposes, but there's no emotional, there's no financial commitment, there's no, grounding in the relationship. We come together sexually, we have these kids, and we're then rearing children in chaotic situations, and we're just perpetuating this trauma into future generations. And Andy, to your point, you said you want to do what's best for the child.
Absolutely.
What's best for the child is mom, dad, you need to get counseling early on. You need to find some way to make a commitment that both of you are going to stand on to take care of that child from day one, from prenatal care all the way into the birthing process and on forward. You have to do whatever it takes to make sure that both parents, no parent is more valuable than the other, that both parents are part of the everyday life of their child, because that is where your child is going to be the most balanced and have the best platform to be emotionally healthy, financially healthy, and in their childhood and in their adult lives. And that's what we need to be talking about, not this bullshit meme.
No, it's because it's, and I address the meme because it's a reality. And you have to touch it. You have to hit the nail where it is, right? There's always the low-hanging fruit. So you pick what you have in front of you and get everybody else to understand that's what we're talking about. So if we're talking about child support, right? Let me bring you in because it's a touchy subject. How do we get around that? Is we talk about the issues that brought into it. It's really about the child, because the first word in the compound is child support, supporting the child. Let's do what's best for the child and build for the future. If mom and dad got it wrong, let's correct this so that this trajectory and this legacy and these attitudes don't continue on for generational curses. It's just bad. So you stop that. Again, I'm always going to be the advocate for men to man up. That has no negative connotation on any woman whatsoever. And if any woman has an issue with the man standing up, that's on you. That has nothing to do with me, because I'm always going to say, men, hold responsibility. I'm not an exception.
Yes,
no
stand
one out
up
here
and
is
don't remove the mom. Just
I'm not
stand up.
removing the mother. It's about, that's what I'm saying. It's not, don't even take it. That has nothing to do with mom. Men, step up. Handle your business. Mom doesn't have to be included in everything a man does. If dad has to step up, then dad has to step up. If you are asking a man or saying the man is a leader and a provider, then let him lead and let him provide.
That's
Oftentimes,
women are leaders and providers too.
Yes, we get that, and there's no
takeaway
from that.
Like, don't take away from
there's
that.
No takeaway from that. You don't always have to be included in what he's doing. You don't.
When it comes to our children,
you don't always have to know. You do not always have to be included in what he's doing.
Let me get clarity.
Yes.
Let me get clarity.
Come on.
Now, in a situation where dad has always been a pivotal figure in the child's life, dad's relationship with the child is secure from day one, then you're correct. Mom does not always have to be a part of, just like dad doesn't have, it could be, oh, daddy, I want a new soccer ball. Dad could do that. He doesn't need to consult mom or put Junior in football, whatever.
Dad do what he's doing.
But in situations where dad is coming in later,
no.
You out of your mind. Mom needs to be all up in that.
You don't have to insert that. Let dad be dad.
Well, just be clear though, because
there's no need to, that's it. That is being clear.
No. Wait. You have to be clear. And that's what I'm saying.
The point of the matter is being clear. Let a man be a man. Period.
But no. At what point though? At what point? Because if dad is coming into the picture after the fact, and he wants to step in and be dad now, there's a transitioning process that has to occur. You can't just jump into that damn pool.
That's perfectly fine. Let that transition happen. But let a man be a man. When women insert themselves,
whatever being a man is, I'm a woman, so I don't know what being a man is.
That's my point.
But what I do know is what being a mom is. And I know that as a mom, I'm not just relinquishing control of the child to the dad, especially if he's been an absentee father.
That's nothing to do with it.
Okay.
That's nothing to do with it.
We need to make sure we need to make sure that your context is clear, because again, in reading those comments and reading that meme and seeing the things that you're saying as you're responding to women who were seeking clarity and showing that they felt some type of way about what you were saying, you were not giving context to say that I'm not taking from you. You were giving context to say, let a man be a man. And it's like, what are you talking about?
Here's where the issue comes with that. And ladies need to hear this. You need to hear this, why letting a man be a man is important, but when mom doesn't have to interject. Here's a prime example. Let me just give you this example. And I'm not saying this is going on in anybody's household. I'm giving you a blanket situation. I hope that's clear for everybody that's listening. So if dad wants to take their son or their daughter to get their hair done or get their hair cut, right? Look, we're going over here to get even more simple. We're going over here. I'm taking my son and my daughter to get something to eat. We'll be back. Dad is making the decision. Mom does not have to interfere and say, well, make sure you go over here. Well, make sure that when you take them that they get this. Well, make sure when you go there that they order from this side of the menu. No. Dad is in control of this situation.
Assuming that dad knows. Wait. Again, a blanket statement, because what if Junior has a food allergy that dad doesn't know about? What if, but seriously, you have to, the context has to be clear. If it's a father who has always been a part of their child's life, then they would know those things. So you are absolutely right. I agree with you. Mom doesn't need to micromanage that. But if it's a situation where dad has not or is not customarily a part of the day life, he may not know things that he needs to know. Or let me finish. What if mom said, because the kid didn't get good grades or something, or they were misbehaving, and mom said, no McDonald's for you until you turn in all those math assignments. And then here comes dad taking Junior to McDonald's. So yeah, mom needs to say, hey, dad, this is where the co-parenting, this is where the co-parenting occurs. Because mom does need to say, if you and I had a kid together, I need to stop you. And when you come pick up Junior, hey, Andy, Junior didn't do his math homework. So I told him no McDonald's. So whatever you do, don't take him to McDonald's because this little motherfucker been cutting up. Dad should be like, bet, I'm on it. Okay. So yeah, I mean, in those situations, mom might need to speak up. And that's why I'm saying your context is like, it's like missing some marks with the context. And us women, we think very detailed like that. We are hyper aware of these things, my kid has a nut allergy or, whatever. And it's like, maybe at mom's house, we're trying to have a healthy food, a clean eating lifestyle, but dad likes to eat a bunch of fried food. So the kid's diet is flipping back and forth. That can cause health repercussions. So in those situations, mom needs to be we are far more detailed oriented about our children than fathers are. I grew up in a 2-parent household. My mom, hands down, was the disciplinarian. My dad was the spoiler. If my mom, say, punished me for something, if I asked my dad for something, he would say, "What your mama say? Ask your mama." You see that happen in 2-parent households because of the co-parenting experience. When you don't have a 2-parent household, you still have to maintain some sense of a co-parenting bond for consistency purposes with the child. So it's not that easy unless you're a dad that already has a well-established co-parenting situation where you understand all of these different dynamics, and then mom doesn't feel like she has to intervene or ask those type questions or put her 2 cents in.
Do what's best for your children, folks. Do what's best for the next generation. We have to do that. It has to come to it. And I say this in closing words, and I definitely thank you all for making time to tune in. Do not let this be the last time that you're doing this. Each and every Thursday right here on the Online Happy Hour, we get down, we get real, we get 100. I love the comments, man. Please continue to share this link. Somebody said, then mom fill dad in, problem solved.
Yes, just let us fill you in.
But it's not always about what moms. You can't always. And I'm gonna take my son to get a haircut. Well, make sure he gets this. I don't want him to get that part, and I don't want it to look like this. No, dad's taking him to the barbershop, and that's it.
Well, you can have that. You can have the haircut, so long as they're not dirty clippers and my kids.
Yeah, all that right there. Let it go. Dad's in control. Man up. Be responsible. Take control, fathers. I encourage you. The holiday season is coming up. Here's an opportunity for you to take more time with your child, more time with yourself, and more time with your family. Don't just put your children by the wayside. Don't just get in the mood because you never know what that child is going through. They may want to see mom and dad at the same time, but if that's not always the case, do what's best for the child, man. Make it happen. And it's not always about the gifts. It's about the time. It's about the love, and it's about what's necessary to make the next generation more loving and more prepared. D, did you have a good time tonight?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Always.
Listeners, did you have a good time tonight? Give us some loves, man. Give us some likes. Continue to share this links. We do what we do. I definitely want to thank Dee for giving some good game, talking the way she does this. She makes the show what it is, and I definitely appreciate you. Please continue to follow her on what she's doing on Instagram, on Facebook, and any other platform that she may be on. Where are you located? SugarBabyCo.com?
Wow, look at you. Progress. I love it.
And I'm pretty sure she's going to tell me a woman had to tell me that because a man couldn't do it on his own.
No, you just did it on your own. I didn't even have to message you about it this time.
So Lord help me. Thank you so much.
I applaud you.
Life is real, folks. Log in, listen, and learn. This is the Online Happy Hour. I encourage you all, man. Please tell a family member again. Tell a friend. Like the page. Do what you do. As always, you make the show what it is. If you got some good game out of this particular broadcast, be sure to tune in with us next Thursday, next month, as we hit you with another wonderful discussion topic right here on the Online Happy Hour. My name is Andy Brown. I love you, man. I appreciate you. Go mob to my frat. Good night to my family. Get home safe, and I'm gone. It's the online happy hour right here on this social media platform. Let's get it.